We've got the Houthis who are asking for different ideas and views, perhaps a sort of local government with full power. You have got Al-Qaeda. So we have got to have a clear, perspective of what change we're aiming at.
And that clarity isn't easy to achieve.
The Yemeni Socialist Party has its constituency mostly in the south, and the south is under tremendous repressive pressure. So that is not conducive to YSP participating in dialogue. But the presence of Salafi extremists in the dialogue, I think, has alarmed another party, Al-Haq party, and it's causing additional complications in the dialogue.
In the capital, anti-government protesters celebrated an army officer who joined their demonstration, and they say their fight will go on regardless of the political confusion. Back to square one. The protesters and the opposition are planning mass rallies on Friday to put more pressure on President Saleh to step aside. They want to bid him farewell, and that, they say, can't wait for another 2 years. Hashim Al-Barra, AlJazeera, Sana'a.
Now, as the U.S. President Barack Obama calls for Muammar Gaddafi to leave, one Libyan exile in the United States is waiting for the moment he can return home. For more on this, back to Daljit in Washington.
Thanks very much, Divya. We're bringing you the story of one man who escaped Libya 30 years ago after being jailed for speaking out against the regime. He says that he is ready to leave his successful business in the U.S. state of Pennsylvania behind so that he can once again return to his homeland. Here's his story in his own words.
Hi, I'm Masoud Salim, the owner of Salim Market in Pittsburgh. I have some family in Tripoli. We have Libyan people pro Gaddafi in every city, and they report for Gaddafi. I stood up and I told him this is not right, and what you're saying is not good. I guess from that time, I know I'm going to jail. I came to the United States November 6, 77. Pittsburgh, yeah, all my life in Pittsburgh. After that, we tried to look for fresh meat and halal meat. The first year, could not find where we can slaughter our own. So I have friends, they ask me why you don't open a butcher shop. Opening store is not easy. We have with $6,500. Now we have two stores.
You go tell them this is our #1 love guy.
They tell me, did you play with the Steeler? I said, no. Some people, they afraid to say I am Libyan. I always say I'm proud of my country, Libya. Always in my mind, I'm going back. I'd like to die in Libya. I'd like to see my people there. All of them every time when you're coming. Now I told them when the revolution starts, I will be there after Ramadan, inshallah.
Now, the U.S. President Barack Obama has expressed, quote, deep regret over an airstrike that killed 9 Afghan children. The White House said in a statement on Thursday that Obama offered his condolences to Afghan President Hamid Karzai in a 2-hour video conference a day earlier. Afghan officials say more than 80 civilians have been killed in NATO attacks in the past 2 weeks. Now, Barack Obama has acknowledged that the United States must stem the flow of guns and cash from the U.S. side of the border into Mexico. His comments followed a meeting with the Mexican President Felipe Calderón at the White House. The talks happened amid tension over the recent killing of a U.S. immigration agent in northern Mexico. Well, last week it was revealed that the weapon used in that killing had been smuggled in from the U.S. side of the border. According to U.S. authorities, more than 60,000 American guns have been recovered in Mexico over the past 4 years. Drug violence has killed at least 34,000 Mexicans since President Calderón came to power in 2006. And the U.S. government says that Mexican drug gangs make between $13 and $48 billion a year from the United States. To try to fight this drug war, the Bush administration in 2008 pushed a plan known as the Merida Initiative. This includes $1.4 billion in training and equipment for Mexican law enforcement. Kimberly Halkett reports.
You can count on us.
It was a warm welcome for Mexican President Calderon at the White House, but behind the public smiles and handshakes, a strained relationship between the two countries remains. The reason, the escalating violence in Mexico's drug war. Calderon criticized the United States for not doing enough to help his country fight organized crime groups responsible for the violence. He blames the U.S. for turning a blind eye to weapons seeping south across its border and not doing enough to stop U.S. demand for illegal drugs.
Thousands of military officers and police have fallen in the line of duty in Mexico. To these deaths, we add the death of Jaime Zapata.
Jaime Zapata is the U.S. immigration agent killed reportedly with a gun purchased in the United States. The White House wants the alleged killer tried in the U.S. Appearing on Capitol Hill, the Homeland Security Secretary reassured lawmakers that would be the case.
Is it the administration's position that we will be seeking extradition into the United States? That's very good news.
Mexico wants assurances the U.S. would not seek the death penalty if the suspect is convicted. But the White House acknowledges it shares responsibility for the wider drug problem.
I reiterated that the United States accepts our shared responsibility for the drug violence.
The U.S. acknowledgement of its role in the cross-border drug problem is being viewed as a step forward.
The question is, are they doing enough to reduce consumption? Are they doing enough to stop the trafficking of weapons?
The U.S. is giving Mexico more than $1 billion a year to help them fight the drug cartels. Washington hopes this will help turn down the temperature in its often heated relationship with an ambivalent neighbor. Kimberly Halkett, Al Jazeera, Washington.
The United States says that it's received recent signs that a former FBI agent who disappeared in March 2007 is being held in Southwest Asia. Robert Levinson went missing during a business trip to Iran. U.S. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton has requested that the Iranian government take humanitarian efforts to, quote, return him. Iran has repeatedly denied that it has any information on Levinson's disappearance. A judge in the U.S. state of Wisconsin has ordered pro-union protesters to be removed from the state capitol. The demonstrators have been rallying for over 2 weeks against Governor Scott Walker's bill to eliminate nearly all union rights for most public sector employees. Walker says layoff notices to 1,500 public workers will go out on Friday if his bill is not passed by then. Negotiations between owners of the National Football League and players have been extended for 24 hours past their 05 GMT Friday deadline. The main sticking point is how to divide up $9 billion in revenue. The owners want to double the $1 billion they currently take off the top, reducing the players' share. A strike threatens to delay next season's kickoff. A Brazilian judge has approved the construction of a controversial hydroelectric dam in the Amazon rainforest. The decision overturns a lower court ruling